Like to be here with benshalom here in Rzeszów. You got the pronunciation down yet?
All I have to say is fair play for coming all this way. Top man, it's a long way to come. Did you come to Krakow or?
I actually flew directly into Rzeszów. Yeah.
Wow, you've done well.
But this is actually my third fight night in Poland. I went to Wrocław last year to watch Usyk and Dubois. I've been to a small hall show here, so.
You like it?
I do like Poland, and but more importantly, like yourself, here to support Lawrence. First of all, just tell us how this came about. Have you got some sort of relationship going with knockout boxing here in Poland?
Yeah, we do. We've worked with them a few times. Obviously, Masternat came over for Chris Smith. We came over here for Babic, but all the time they've got the best fighters in Poland and put on the biggest shows. But to be honest, this was just about Lawrence. This was about him being trained at the weight. This was about a step to heavyweight. And this was about getting another world title, and putting all those things together. It felt like the perfect option. Particularly, he'd come under criticism. It'd been a tough 18 months for him, let's be honest. And this felt like the perfect chance to make a statement, get away from the noise, come and fight a top quality, unbeaten fighter for his belt, a weight that he feels really good at, really strong at. And he's been working with Joe Gallagher, and it feels like they're ready to go.
Yeah, I've been speaking to a few of my media colleagues about this. This feels like the sort of fight Rozanski can maybe bring the best out of Lawrence. As I said, he's had criticisms in the past, but we know with Rozanski what you're going to get. There's no frills. He's going to come out on the opening bell, out the traps, like a bull in a china shop. Lawrence, it's going to be fight or fall.
Look, he's going to come out like Usain Bolt, isn't he? He is going to absolutely jump on Lawrence. He's going to throw himself at Lawrence. And Lawrence has to, I'm sure, has been preparing that in the gym, but nothing really can really prepare you for a guy that will come out. I think the benefit with Lawrence is he's got that range that perhaps Babic didn't have. He's got that size, he's got that capacity to punch himself, and I think he'll be looking to make a statement early as well. Both of them have said they want a round one knockout, which suggests we're in for something very special, because when I was here with Babic, we knew it was going to be explosive. We knew it could be over early, and fucking hell it was. I think on this occasion, Lawrence has those intentions as well, and he'll be wanting to put on a statement and show his power at this new weight.
You've been working with Lawrence for over a year now. You know him probably well. Did all the criticism, especially from the manner of the response to be, did that get to him? Does he want to prove the point?
To be fair, he's been through so much in his life, had to go through so much in his life, worked so hard to get to this point. Look, boxing fans can be very, very brutal at times, and they sit there, you know, some people on Twitter and they'll make comment, and yes, it's not been entertaining, and boxing is entertainment. So I think he takes it with a pinch of salt, just like he takes compliments and praise with a pinch of salt as well. Ultimately, he knows where he's gone wrong. He's a man about it. He's gone away. He's got his team that he feels is a better fit for him. He's gone to a weight that he feels is much more comfortable at, and he I think if anything, he's so determined to make a statement that it spurred him on. And you have to admire someone that keeps going even when things are very, very tough, and even when things, you know, when there is a lot of criticism in a sport as brutal as boxing. So I'm proud of him. I think the way he's carried himself this week and everything he's been through is a testament to his character.
Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, Lawrence is one of the more stoic people I've come across. As you said, a lot of the criticism does bounce off of him. But this, as you know, sports, it's relentless in terms of the negativity. It has been unfair. I've been saying to my media colleagues, people forget Lawrence became an Olympian with a relatively limited sort of start in boxing. He became the world champion with relatively limited amount of fights. I mean, there's a lot of talent there.
A lot of talent, a lot of size, a lot of athleticism, great mindset. Sometimes things, I think when he became world champion, he knew that he had to get out of that weight division. But when you're a world champion, you want to hold on to that title as long as possible. And you saw in his past 3 performances, he just hasn't been at that level. But as you said, he's been learning on the job as well. Despite being a world champion, he's had such limited experience in the amateur scene as well. And I think all of it played its part. But ultimately, he's looking at that heavyweight division thinking, That's where he can make his difference. That's where he can make his mark. He's still a very young fighter, and he's a fighter that has a great future ahead of him. But there's a pressure on him tonight because people will be looking at this, and the fans and the haters and the people that have probably watched his last fights and be giving him a lot of stick will be expecting the same tonight. And he wants to show that no, at this weight, with this camp, with the right preparation, he can show he's a different fighter.
I'm sure you know, modern heavyweights, cruiserweights peak a lot later. Looking at Fury and Usyk, probably just getting out again in their late 30s. He's got special years ahead.
He has, and that's what you have to tell someone like that, and that's what the team have to remind him. Sometimes when you achieve so much so early on, you forget how long you've got to go. And I think this is the start of his career. I think it's a second chapter of his career. It's a chapter where he's looking at the heavyweight division. And as I say, you can only want the best for someone that keeps coming back, that keeps wanting to prove themselves. And as I do believe he's going to put on a big statement tonight in a very hostile atmosphere with a guy that is super confident, never lost, and is here to retain his title. So it will, whatever happens tonight, it's going to be a hell of a spectacle.
Absolutely. And given that he is as young as you said, there probably isn't a rush to go to heavyweight. Obviously, Riyadh last weekend, bit of flex there. Kevin Lerena says he wants Okolie to win, and he wants that fight as the mandatory in London. As a promoter, I guess you could look ahead into the fight. Is that what you'd like to have a couple of fights at BRIDGERWEIGHT just to sort of ease himself in?
I'm not sure. I think for Lawrence it is about big fights, and he's looking at a heavyweight division. So I think Lorena's a great name. I think for me, it's a natural step. It's someone that's been at heavyweight. It's someone that he can test himself against. And so it makes sense, but I think he'll have a lot of options, and what part of him will be thinking, am I going to heavyweight now? I think he'll also be looking at maybe Richard Riakporhe, Chris Smith. Are any of them going to jump to BRIDGERWEIGHT? He'll be looking at Fabio Wardley and Fraser Clark. Am I in that British heavyweight scene now? So I think he's got a few options now where he can look around, see how he comes through tonight. And for me, I'd like to see him in that domestic heavyweight division, that is thriving and that does have names coming through, and I think he'll fancy himself.
The options are mouthful, but first of all, he's got to get the job done tonight. Do you want to give us a final prediction?
I think Okolie knockout round 4 or 5.
Okay. My prediction is round 5. I expect him to have maybe a few scares early on,
round
see
5.
it through and get it done by round 5. So, Ben, absolute pleasure seeing you. Always great to see a familiar face away from home. And,
no, it's great.
Yeah, fingers crossed for Lawrence tonight. Bring that home.